I think, therefore I am. I am accustomed to sleep and in my dreams to imagine the same things that lunatics imagine when awake. The greatest minds are capable of the greatest vices as well as the greatest virtues. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt as far as possible all things. The first precept was never to accept a thing as true until I knew it as such without a single doubt. Perfect numbers, like perfect men, are very rare. Each problem that I solved became a rule which served afterwards to solve other problems. A state is better governed which has few laws, and those laws strictly observed. I think, therefore I am, is the statement of an intellectual who underrates toothaches. It is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is to use it well. I am thinking, therefore I exist. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. Doubt is the origin of wisdom. I am indeed amazed when I consider how weak my mind is and how prone to error. The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. The things which we see are not by themselves what we see. It is light that reveals, to live without philosophizing is in truth the same as keeping the eyes closed without attempting to open them. Common sense is the most fairly distributed thing in the world, for each one thinks he is so well endowed with it that even those who are hardest to satisfy in all other matters do not usually desire more of it than they already possess. There is nothing so strange and so unbelievable that it has not been said by one philosopher or another. The first rule was never to accept anything as true unless I recognized it to be evident. The senses are of little use if they are not put to good use. It is only by the suspension of our judgment that we can deliver ourselves from the errors which the ill use of our natural faculties has caused. The pursuit of truth is the noblest occupation of man. Good sense is the most widespread thing in the world, for each person is convinced that he possesses a good amount of it. Mathematics is a more powerful instrument of knowledge than any other that has been bequeathed to us by human agency. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. I am a thing that thinks. The act of doubting is not the same as the act of denying. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it. I think, therefore I am. A thing which doubts, understands, affirms, denies, wills, refuses, and which also imagines and senses. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the most eminent minds of past centuries. Traveling is almost like talking with men of other centuries. It is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is to apply it well. Each problem that I solved became a rule that served to solve subsequent problems. The senses deceive from time to time, and it is prudent never to trust wholly those who have deceived us even once. A state is better governed which has few laws and those laws strictly observed. The power of judging well and of distinguishing the true from the false is properly what is called understanding.